So one of the ethical conversations going on is obviously these models are very hungry for data, right? So there's kind of like, so OpenAI most likely scraped a bunch of YouTube videos.
I thought it got proven.
It probably, I don't know if it's proven yet, but it's like the whole COVID thing. It's like, it's not proven that it's from the China lab, but it's like, I mean, it's called COVID Research Lab or something like that. So it's like, it's, you know, it's, you can kind of trust it. I don't know if it's proven yet, but I guess the thought is like, what is knowledge? What is training data? And then since it's, you know, remixing all this stuff, it's still an original thought, but how do you pretty much give value to people that have that it's training? Let me rephrase that. So how are people, like, say that you're a journalist or you're an artist, how do you get compensated for feeding this?
Yeah,
it's not stealing your ideas, but it's obviously there's value there.
The question may be just simply answered by you don't. You know,
I'm a Freeberg on this one. I don't know if y'all watched that part of the All In.
I don't know.
It's just like, how do you learn? How do I, as an artist, okay, when I started video production, how did I learn? I watched every other professional do it, and then I learned off their shit, and I copied it in my own way because that's just how I do it. It's just, I pulled in all their uses of lighting, everything they've done, the way they like to storytell, how did they do sound. I watched every frame by frame to pick it up, and then I made it my own because that's just how my brain works. I can't literally copy their work. Therefore, I have a new output, and no one's going to get mad at me on my videos that I make because they're like, Matt made that video. Of course. Sure. But that's what AI is kind of doing. Yeah. It's just
faster and smarter, almost like a much quicker and expansive. But it's allowed
it's
to look
learning.
At the
it saw a bunch of shit and goes, okay, great. Now I'm going to make something new out of it.
Yeah, and if it's publicly available, like that's why to me there's just like this fundamental idea of like, of course I get artists wanting to be protected by copyright and stuff, and I as an artist, I would also like to be protected, but it's just as, again, what I like and what I prefer is not necessarily reality. And it's like, if you release something, you genuinely release it to the universe. Like, it's out of your control. Not only may it be, of course, co-opted by AI that ends up doing something bad, and may, of course, just maybe used in all kinds of ways to mock you or anything. Like, it could just be monetized in another country. Like, there's so many different ways, but that's like a fundamental at the axis of creation. And then the sharing of that creation is like, creation is between like you and God, and then also, but then like sharing it, it's like, it's still between you and God, and then now just other people can see it and touch it. But it's like, again, creation is it's upstream of that. It's like and if you put out a YouTube video, you have to accept. Yeah. You don't control that thing anymore.
I agreed, and this might be a flawed kind of mindset, but it's like, so then what's the incentive to create quality, let's say, data or quality art?
There might not be.
I mean, there might not be.
Besides
a point where we're just pumping out content to, you know, everyone's content productivity just increases exponentially, so that maybe there's not a need for an incentive. At the same time, I do wonder, like, that data is valuable, and yes, it's not stealing it, it's just using it.
Yeah.
And the old way, the human way, was, hey, you have cool information, I'm going to go on your YouTube channel, or I'm going to stream your music, or I'm going to do this, that, or the other. You still get something from that. You get a view, which can be monetized, or someone buys your course, someone buys your product, someone buys your CD. So there's still like an incentive to make that, like, you know, as an artist, you don't need that maybe money incentive, but then you do get paid for it. And then that person could also be an artist and then make something from it. Like, so that part, I 100% agree. AI is just an artificial version of that in action.
Yeah.
But
what happens? Truth.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
That's what people do.
So then what my only concern is, like, where does the incentive go? Because then why do you want to create this quality information or this quality data or this quality art? You might just, I mean, that it could be, again, that's probably extremely.
Rick Rubin would absolutely deny all this stuff.
Why does anyone do anything? It's like people create because they intrinsically create, because creation must be made. Even if if AI literally was created today and never allowed another human to make music is not a human creation solely. It's literally a literal existing life form in the universe. Birds sing. Literally, there's just, song is a part of nature. So it's like, we will create because that's what humans do.
Yeah. I mean, that might be
in poverty.
Yeah.
Around the world, the poorest people who genuinely are the closest to death and perhaps also the closest to God and the preciousness of life. That's why it might be actually kind of a superpower to a degree versus sometimes the modern comfort. And look, oh, my life's so hard when it's really actually quite amazing.